What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Inside Out Football. I'm your host, David, and I'm joined again for another week with an amazing guest. Please welcome for the first time on the podcast and an amazing player that plays for club football, Benidorm, Diego Ward. How's it going, man?
I'm good.
Really great to have you here.
Yeah.
For sure. I have to say, we talked about it. I don't know if I'm going to include the segment from before, the introductions and all, but like the way we met was of the randomest way. Like for other people, you might meet like on social media randomly, but I don't even think your account has come up on my page any time. But like, I'm standing watching you at your personal practice, and I was standing next to your dad so I'm talking to your dad with Philip, and then he mentions you, and then next thing you know, we introduce ourselves, and you even had EJ yelling at you, Diego, come on in.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm just the type of person where if I need to introduce myself. Yeah. And I knew, and well, I remember I was like, did I ever play with you? Did I ever train with you or something? Me that, yeah. Because you seem so familiar. Mm-hmm. And I've been watching, I've seen your podcast around and everything, and honestly, I was just surprised as how tall you were. So that's why I was like, oh, you're David. But yeah, after that, it all clicked.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, I get that a lot. I don't know if people think I'm just a midget or something.
I don't know, man. It's just, you did not seem like, I saw you and you're like, what, 6'3"?
Yeah, I'm 6'3", and I have to tell you, the same day, that's the same thing EJ told me. So EJ, I already spoken to EJ on the phone, but I was texting with EJ, and EJ sees me, we shake hands, and I'm like, I'm David. His face is just blank. I'm like, from the podcast.
Oh,
and he's still blank, and then he's like, I didn't expect you to be this tall. That's the same thing he tells me. He's like, you're tall. And I get that a lot. I think people expect me to be like 5'7". I'm 6'3", guys, okay?
He's very tall.
Yeah, respect the height, okay? The tallest in the family. My dad is actually, I don't want to call him a midget, but
he's short.
Yeah, he's short. My mom calls him a midget.
Where are your parents from?
My family's from DRC Congo.
Okay.
Yeah, we were born in DRC Congo in Central Africa.
Okay.
People are generally tall there. But my dad, he's maximum 5'10", 5'9" maybe, because he's been like getting shorter or whatever. One day we're taking a picture, and then my mom is like, "Oh, geez, your son is making you look like a midget," and we just burst out laughing. But just like I was introducing you at first, you play for club football Benidorm.
Yep.
In Spain.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's overseas. Okay, so if it's overseas, there's a map to get there. There's more things to it that I can add up and tell the people that you've had your national team call up. But before we get to all of it, I want to know, when did this love story with football start? When did you start playing soccer? Do you recall maybe not the age, or maybe the first club, or what made you fall in love with soccer at first?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. You sent me over like the questions and everything, and I remember the first time in my memories that I remember. Mm-hmm. And I don't know where exactly, but it was an indoor facility, and we were just doing dribbles like up and down the field. Yeah. And I was just dribbling, and that's like the first memory I have of it.
Really?
But besides that, I don't know. I can't tell you when I fell in love with the game. I just know I did.
Yeah.
It's just something that since a little kid, it was something that I just had so much fun playing, and I just still have fun playing it.
Yeah. Do you recall like the big influence for early on for you, like at the start? It doesn't have to be a specific moment, but that like that, because let's say me, I could say my big influence when I was a little kid, when I was playing, or when I'm not playing, but when I was watching soccer, was Messi and Iniesta. I fell in love with them. Okay, they're the reason if right now I'm sitting here listening to people's stories, all of them, because of them. So if there was an influence, it doesn't have to be a professional player. It could be anybody that the influence that drove you into the game.
I think in every moment of my life, I've had a different influence. Mm-hmm. And I think when I first started taking it seriously was when my parents first transitioned me into a premier football team, which was FC Alliance. Okay. And so I had a few coaches there, and I went, I started in the B team, and then I got moved down to the D team.
Really?
Yeah. And then I stayed in the D team for a few years, but like there, I remember I had my coach Kenny, and I don't talk to him anymore. I don't know where he is, but I just remember I had a few seasons with him, and I just remember the amount of fun I had on that team with the kids that I was training with, and I still like I have a few of them on Instagram still, so I still see them around. But yeah, so I was on the D team there, and then I got moved up to the B team with another coach who's actually a friend of my dad's, Coach Ricky. And then after, I think that season was when I first started actually taking soccer seriously. Yeah. Because before that, my coaches were just nice and, you know, they were like playful and everything. But then with him, this is the first, I think this is the first hard and the hardest coach I've ever had.
Okay, so that's where the change of dynamic came.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is where, and mind you, this is, I'm like, what, like 8 to 10 years old, and this guy's yelling at us, and he yells at me in Spanish because he's Argentinian, and he's yelling at us, and he yells at us, and tons of kids would cry. Tons of kids would go home crying after trainings and everything.
What made you different from those kids?
I don't know. I was used to. I felt good in that pressure. It's kind of strange because I never, you know, he'd be cursing at me and saying all these things, and he's an amazing guy. I'm not trying to make him seem like a bad guy. Yeah. But yeah, he'd curse, and I don't know. I think most of the Latinos on that team were used to that pressure. I don't know if it's something from our parents or something that we're just used to that pressure, but I was used to it, and I felt comfortable in it, and I felt like I had to, you know, if he would yell at me, I had to prove him wrong, or I had to, you know, show him up. So yeah. So
did you guys already had a maybe connection before that? Or was it that like he comes and it's all random and next thing you know he just starts yelling, or was it that, you know, he's already close with you at first, because you're saying that he's an amazing guy? Yeah. So how was it at first? Or was it like, hello, I'm the coach, and then bang, starts yelling? Or is it, hey, I'm the coach, how are you, and then when it's time to work, he making you work?
Yeah, definitely. He's when it comes to game time, he's a different person. Okay. So he's definitely like he's always cursing and all that, but he's a very nice guy. But when it comes to game time, he'll yell at you and he doesn't care. So tons of games and that season, that was the first season I ever won state cup actually. That was the first time I ever won state cup. Yeah. So he did many things right, and I just remember all these details that he'd yell at us for in trainings. When we'd be doing passing lines, he'd yell at us, connect the pass, or put weight on the pass. Just small things like that, where at U10, I don't think most kids are very used to getting yelled at for those things. Yeah. But from him, that was the first time that I had somebody like demand for higher technical football. And so like I remember that season pretty great. I remember state cup. I scored tons of goals that season. I think I had 11 goals in the state cup run. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And it's funny that I remember that number, but I just it's like it's a memory that I live with forever. And and yeah, I mean I remember when I first actually met him, which was for tryouts. And I remember just being put into his group, and him talking to us and introducing himself to us, to like the kids. And then I remember I made a mistake, right? And he told me, don't make a square pass like so close to your goal. Yeah. And like I'll still make a square pass, but at that moment, I think that was the first time where I got called out for my mistake, because I did it 2 more times, and one of those times they countered on us. Like they got the ball from me from my pass, and they scored in the tryout. And so as a little kid, I didn't think much of it, but when he called me out for it, I kind of like felt like
like a dagger.
Like yeah, it was kind of like oh damn, like I messed up. And so just small details like that kind of from him that kind of just honestly made me improve, and kind of like I wouldn't say like hardened as a player, but definitely as a person. So
wait, that's amazing. First, I what I love, it's kind of going back to when you started at this, telling me about the kids that will go ahead and cry or go home, but there's a difference from you, where you stayed, and another point that you point out was proving him wrong. Like, you know, when he would call you out for something, you wanted to prove him wrong or so. But to get a bit on the fun part here. So when you were a kid, what was that like favorite position? If you're like, if it's, you know, scrimmage or if it's in the game, you have to play that position. What's the position you would play?
I just play right. Like,
You were
no
on the
right
left
mid,
side.
no right back, no right forward. It just be right. And I just run up and down,
Mm-hmm.
and I just run and get the ball and dribble, and that's all I do. I just play right.
Yeah. So, bro, so and let's say when it's time to chase, you're just chasing.
I'm just there.
And then when it's time to run, attacking, you're there.
I just wanted to run. Like, I was a very energetic kid, and my parents can tell you that. Like, as soon as I didn't learn how to like jog or walk, I just learned how to run, just sprint and
just
get away.
sprinting.
And my mom, you know, she tells me stories where she'd have to chase me across courts and everything. And so, yeah, I just like to run, and I think even now to this day, I think as a player I run a lot, and it's just funny that, you know, to this day I'm still running a lot.
Yeah. So of course. Now you started playing. What's it called? That young, you know, you say you also playing in State Cup where you scored 11 goals at 80 years old.
It was like 80, it was 9 or 9 or 8. Yeah.
So yeah, you're playing at that stage, and then the coach, that coach came along and then brought that switch of mentality for you. That's where you're like, okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, this is what I want to go ahead and put work, not just, you know, show up for practice, but I'm also going to put work just in general and actually try out. And see, I want to know what's it like being a kid when you're what's it called? You're working at this and that. You know, you're working maybe at a specific skill, at a specific dribble, and then it fails and it fails and it fails. How much patience does a kid have? How is it like to work for something? And understand that you don't just have to work for it, but you have to work out from a very young age when the coach is pushing you. You know, he's telling you to do this one thing, right? Cool. He's telling you to do this one thing. But there's patience involved. And there's also will to not give up.
Yeah.
What was it like for you? Like, how did you get the will to not give up and that patience, though? Okay, the skill is going to come. This is going to come. What was it like?
For me as a little kid, I did not have an understanding of patience or any of that, and that now that I understand.
Yeah.
But as a little kid, I think I was just born with this drive to just want to be better. Being on that B team, and I'd train up with the A team players sometimes, and I also knew the coach from the A team very well, and I just always wanted to be there, and I didn't know how I was gonna get there. I didn't know what I had to do specifically to get there. I just knew that I had to play and play good to be there.
Yeah.
And so it's just this thing where I'd always work on my, like, you know, I'd always train and do this and that, but as a little kid, it was just I wanted to play.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that I had to get good at a certain skill or really just get good at a certain skill, but it was just I needed to play, and I wanted to play, and seeing like the kids on the A team play and seeing how good they were, it just made me realize like the levels there was to the game.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's amazing. I want to know, what did you make any move to a certain club afterwards?
So my first and only move from a club was how old was I? I was like 13. U11 to Seattle United.
Yeah.
So okay, so yeah, so that was my first move to that was my only move that I made from club to club.
Yeah.
And wow, that was hard for me because I grew up with these coaches, I grew up with all these kids, and I'm still friends with a lot of them. But it was kind of hard for me because I wanted to be in that club and I wanted to be with those coaches, but it didn't work out. In the end, they didn't. I wasn't gonna get moved up that year, and it was the year that FCA turned into Greater Seattle Surf. Okay. So it was a big transition for the club as well. And so we tried out for Seattle United, and instantly they actually my mom, we found the wrong schedule, and we went to the select training.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And so I forget what they call select in Seattle United, but we went to the select tryouts, and there I just balled out, and I didn't even know, like I didn't really feel any pressure, and I felt good, and I was balling out, and then the coaches were like, you know, I think you're good enough to be on the Copa team, and that was the year that that development academy was starting. So it was DA, and then it was Copa, and so I went to train with the Copa, and the coach liked me. And that was another coach. That was another coach in a different moment that kind of impacted me as a player.
Yeah.
Because that was his name was Coach Jake.
Yeah.
And he's still coaching at Seattle United, but
love story between Seattle United and Coach Jake.
Yeah. He's a lot of people know him, and I think a lot of people love him because he's also a very hard guy.
Yeah.
But he also he gave me a lot of belief in myself, because I remember like training, and he'd always be telling me, like, you have to play the way you are.
Yeah.
Like, he'd push me to dribble more. He'd push me to, like, if I get mad, just go and break some kid's legs, like, he was like that. And so it made me feel good, and he gave me this push to feel good about getting moved up to the DA. And a few months after being with him, I got moved up to the DA with the Seattle United DA. And that was a big jump for me. It's that age group where kids start going to Sounders. Yeah. And so there's a lot of cockiness. Like, all these kids, they're going to train with Sounders and this and that. And so they're like cocky, they feel good, and it's kind of like, I don't know, when players have that confidence, they play really good. So it was this time where it was a big jump for me. And I really liked making that jump, but it was definitely a big jump. And now I understand how big, looking back, I understand like how much more work I needed or how much more time I needed to really get to their level. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I want to know, but before I keep talking about DA, I want to come back to the confidence from first to move to Seattle United. You're going to another club, from a club to another one, new coach, new teammates, new environments. Yeah. Do you lose a bit of confidence when you realize that, you're at the bottom of the ladder again? You have to climb your way up. Yeah. And if you do, like, back then, how do you like go out there telling yourself that, okay, I have to, make it happen? How did that confidence come from?
I really can't tell you. I think it's something that I'm just like born with, because I'm bottom of the ladder. All these new kids, like, I'm with all these new kids that I don't know, and they've been teammates for years. Yeah. And I understand that, because I think every player has been through that position where they're the new guy. Yeah. And so like ultimately, I just got along with the kids, honestly, with the teammates, and they were all really nice, and the coach, like I said, he helped me like feel good about where I was, and he reassured me with my jump from FCA to Seattle United.
Okay. So the coach plays a big part in making you comfortable and making you be the player you were. Do you recall the position that you that you were set on when you were going to Seattle United? On that first club?
I was playing winger, and then I'd always play a little bit, depending the coach that I had. They put me maybe center mid, maybe 6. But right there, that's when this coach, he really wanted me at 10. So I was playing 10, and that's when I kind of started, kind of like, I got the idea of what positions were. Like, I don't know. I think my idea of football started to develop.
Okay. Like, more of like mind-wise, like, started opening up or something. Yeah. Did you have a favorite player when you were a kid?
I've been through favorite players. Like, I think at that time, it was Neymar.
Neymar.
Yeah, okay. It was Neymar, because it was when he was starting off young at Barcelona. So I think everybody fell in love with him. Yeah.
I'm a big Barca fan at heart. I try not to think about Neymar. Try not to. Yeah.
They say all over TikTok, I see like they name him the prince that never became king.
Exactly. That's what they call him.
I hate that people. Like,
that's true. But the thing, at the same time, I think it's us. Like, I don't think we put those stage for them, like those pedestal for them, and then when they don't walk on that pedestal, don't walk on that stage, then we go ahead and criticize them for it, that it's a pressure that we put on them, and that's a pressure. I want to know if you ever felt that pressure when you were playing. Did you ever feel the pressure?
I always feel the pressure that I need to perform when I'm new on a team. So like even now when I started training with the Benidorm team, I felt pressure because like these are older guys, so now you get like if you mess up, like they'll get at you.
Yeah.
So, like yeah, there's definitely pressure to perform. Coaches when they believe in you, they want you to perform, and so, there's always this sense of pressure when I'm new to a team or even pressure on myself. Because I feel like I need, like I said, like I always felt like I need to prove them wrong or I need to step up my game. So it's always been a mix of pressure on myself. I think it's more pressure on myself than pressure from other people.
Yeah, I feel that. Pressure on yourself or instead of pressure from other people. So it's kind of like now blocking out the noise and just kind of like letting yourself stay in your own zone like you were staying at the start.
Yeah.
So here's a question I want to know. Pre-game. What's your pregame routine looking like?
Right now it's very simple. Our games are usually like at 4 p.m. So I wake up at 10, 11, you know, I like to sleep in. So I wake up at 10 or 11 and then I'll have
better than me. I wake up at 12.
Man, yeah. But I love my sleep, so I like to have a good night's sleep, which I think is super important. Like I think I heavily like my gameplay and my energy heavily reflects on how good I slept.
Yeah.
So I like to good night's sleep first, then a light breakfast. I'm not very big on breakfast, so I'll have a light breakfast, and then I'll probably just be chilling. I'll listen to music. I'll talk to my friends
what's an artist you listen to, like artists or maybe like it could be three of them.
Well, right now the
on repeat.
The artist I'm listening to most right now is Raúl Alejandro.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's like reggaeton and like Latino R&B and pop and that stuff. So I'm listening to him heavily
on repeat.
Right now, on, like just all his stuff.
Get your jam on, basically. Yeah.
So I listen to him a lot, and then I need to prep a meal, so I'll make myself something that makes me feel good. So usually like I'll have like, I don't know, I like to have a mix of rice and vegetables and then some good protein source.
Yeah.
So I think also like having a good meal in you is like very important, and I always feel good when I eat good. I'm not one of those guys who can eat like right before a game because then I'll feel too heavy. Yeah. And there's like I get surprised as to how many kids like can still just eat like a bag of chips before a training.
Really?
It's surprising.
Yeah. Man, if you think that's bad, here's the thing. I started playing soccer last year, right? So I'm starting to only play last year. I joined a club. My first practice, I ate a burrito like 30 minutes before practice.
Did you throw up?
I didn't throw up. Worse, man. And I put a lot of hot sauce and it's like 20 minutes into the practice and I'm like,
oh my God, that's horrible. Yeah, like if I ate like that, and the thing is that the coaches are yelling at you to like get in the game and everything. So if I'm eating like that, like I'll throw up and then I'll have to keep playing. Or are you the type of
guy when like, because there's a lot of nervous, right? There's nervous, my hands sweat. There's nervous, this that. Are you nervous like your belly starts to like jiggle? Like I'm like when I get nervous, like my belly starts to like, I don't know, like turn around. It's kind of like twisted upside down.
Yeah, when I'm nervous, I definitely feel like something in my stomach.
Yeah.
And then also just I know I'm nervous when I'm kind of like out of my head, you know, so I'm not really in the moment. I'm like overthinking some things and so that's when I know I'm nervous.
Yeah. So the reason I wanted to ask you about the whole pregame routine now is because I wanted to know how your pregame routine looks now as an athlete that's taking the game to another level compared to over the years, how it's grown and how your understanding as a player has come to, okay, it's not just the game. It's not just that I go out there and I kick the ball around. It's how do I prepare for it? So as an athlete, I want to ask you, how do you prepare for games? How do you go out there and you tell yourself that, okay, I have to prepare for the game before the game, practices and all in terms of gym, nutrition, and what I eat and all. So if you like, let's say if somebody comes up and asks you, Diego, what's the best way for me as an athlete to prepare? You'll be able to answer it. But as a kid, how did that understanding came from? That it wasn't just about how much I ran on the field, how much I tried to dribble as much, but how did I prepare for game? How did it grow for you?
I mean, I think it's something that I think most athletes have gone through this, where first you start listening to your parents and you'll do everything your parents say, right? So I'm always listening to my parents. Like growing up, listening to my parents. They tell me to go to sleep at a certain time. I go to sleep at that time. They tell me to eat at a certain time. I eat at that time. Mm-hmm. So definitely just first the like what I'm hearing from my parents. So if I'm eating 20 minutes before a game,
yeah,
because my mom's gave me food 20 minutes before a game, I'm eating 20 minutes before a game. Mm-hmm. And then I think that just all those little details that come from parents that, I mean, it's not wrong from them, but it's just what I was learning from them at that time, or what I was doing at that time. And then definitely just learning how to focus as a kid. I think the more I matured as a person was when my mind started opening up, and when I started like, you know, oh, I need to focus, or I need to lock in, you know, all those little thoughts. That definitely you mature as a person and you start mentalizing. And then, I mean, I've always liked listening to music before a game. That's, my family likes listening to music in the car, so I'm used to listening to music in the car. Or like before a game, I'll have my headphones in, and then, I mean, that's really all I can say, because I started where most of what I thought was right came from my parents. But then slowly you go learning and you start taking advice from multiple people that come and go in your life. And so, I've learned tons of things from different people.
Yeah, so how important is it to properly take care of your body in terms of sleep, in terms of how much water you take, in terms of how much you maybe lift? How important is it for an athlete?
I mean, it's so important. And I didn't realize how, and I've never been the type of person who, like, would do ice bath. Like, I never did like that extra stuff, like ice baths. I know I hate ice baths. I still hate them. But just like things like that, where I learn now, like, wow, like it's so important. Like even, like, I don't know, weightlifting, like lifting weights, even knowing like what to do and what not to do, and how much weight you should put on versus how much you shouldn't be doing. And it's just all those things where I think that really preparation starts the day after your last game. So my preparation is already like, so if I play Saturday, I have Sunday off, I'm resting Sunday, and then Monday we start training again. Monday is the day I start preparing for my next game. So I'm already working on the drills that coach puts out, you know, getting touches on the ball, making sure that with my trainer I'm lifting properly, doing the workouts that can prevent injuries, but also make me stronger. And then so just like day by day, it's just all those things. Eating right, man. Like I can't emphasize enough on how important it is to eat right. And I think a lot of soccer players, like I think us soccer players have to eat so much more than other athletes, because we think, and I think the reason why so many soccer players are like scrawny is because we don't eat enough, and we don't eat enough protein. So just learning also like about my, like, bettering my diet has helped me feel better in trainings and in games. And then so just like every day, just all those things, training right, lifting right, and then eating right, and then last but not least is sleeping. You need to get good sleep, or else you're not gonna feel good.
Exactly. That's true. See, now I'm sitting here and a thought came to me at some point was, you started playing soccer that young, but if Diego wasn't playing soccer, why would you be playing? Or either not playing, or what would you be doing?
A few years ago, I'd probably tell you I'd probably be into basketball. I suck at shooting, but I think most soccer players can relate to this. Like, we're good at everything else except the shooting part.
We're good at defending.
We're good at, oh my god, my friends tell me, like, they're surprised that I can like guard some of the people I do. But yeah, definitely I would have enjoyed getting into basketball if it wasn't soccer. But even then, I think I'd be studying, and I'd just be studying, honestly.
I'll tell you, me, volleyball. I would play volleyball.
You have the height for it.
Man, wait. See, when I first moved to the country, I'm asking the dudes in middle school thing. I only use like Google Translate, so I go on Google Translate. I'm typing up. So I'm playing a volleyball at PE. I type and I show them there's a school have a volleyball team. They're like, there's no volleyball school, volleyball for boys. That's what they told me. And I thought that it was just volleyball. Oh, I wish I would have known that there was such thing as club, because I'm telling you, if I knew right now we're doing inside out volleyball, like yeah, it'll be about volleyball because how much I love the sport, how much it's just hype.
It's a fun sport to play too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I still watch it. Yeah, it's amazing. I still watch it.
When you see like some of the stuff, like some of the rallies, is insane. And the athleticism that some of those guys have is crazy.
Exactly. To be able to like dive on a hard ground, we dive on like it's grass, whatever, but like dive on a hard ground, like head in first, and then that's just incredible. See, I want to know now. Move on to your last years with Seattle United. Okay, so you're competing with Seattle United. It's that you just said that was the first in terms of club. That's the first or only club move that you ever done. So when was it like in your head that you're now looking ahead as far as like professional, or as far as like beyond just club? Because it's true that you're playing as kids, but when you play as a kid, you maybe don't understand the realities of like how many chances there are to go to the next level. Because everybody plays and dreams of being the next Messi, dream of being the next superstar, but don't understand the limit of chances there are. So for you, when was it like it clicked that okay, reality kicks in? This is how tough it is to get to the professional stage. This is where I am, and this is what it's going to take.
I think these last 2 years is when reality started kicking in, and I think although it's a good thing. Like it's a sense of maturing, but at the same time it affected my gameplay, because it's kind of like now like this pressure that I'm feeling inside myself where like I think there was even a time where I stopped playing for fun and I started playing because I felt like I had to you know. And it's not that I never stopped loving the game, it's just, you know, I think the maybe the joy that I felt playing it was kind of like shifting away, like it was more of a focus of being better than just enjoying the moment. And so I think these last 2 years it's definitely where you start seeing like other kids like commit to these schools. You start seeing them, you know, they go on tours and they post all these cool pictures and everything. And so you start seeing that. I started seeing that and I was like, damn, like that could be me, or that should be me. And so it's always just always working, but definitely I think the higher level you go, the more you realize how hard it really is to make it to that next step. So
how do you find it harder to play when you enjoy the game, or harder to play when you're playing you have to? Because you said at some point that you're playing for that you have to, you know. What's harder to play, or like what's the best way to play for you? When you enjoy the game at the fullest, or when you have a goal that you're aiming at and you're like, I got to?
I think for me it's a mix of both, but if I'm leaning too much to one, then either I'll lose focus or I'll lose sense of the game. So I think for me it's just I have to find that perfect balance where I'm having fun, but at the same time I'm competing to kill these guys, to be better than these guys. But having fun doing that, you know. So I think for me, it's been a journey to kind of find out what is like the happy medium for me. And right now, I'm in that happy medium, and I feel good, and like I feel like I'm getting better. I've been improving, and I think any athlete can relate to that with feeling that you feel good when you're just improving. So.
What's one piece of advice that you've always carried on through your playing years? Because right now it's great and all you're playing at a level you can be proud of. But in order to get to that level, what's a piece of advice that you've carried on through the years with you?
For me, it's that word grit. I think and I love the fact that I've kind of found this word again, because for me that word, it can mean so many different things, and it can be implemented in so many different things in life. And so for me, it's grit that it's having that grit to, like, if it gets hard, like I'll work through that. If I'm unhappy, then, you know, just thug it out and just do things that make you happy and to be happy. And grit, like, you need grit to, you know, like, there's always going to be people that will try to bring you down. So it's just having that strength to pull back, you know? And so I think for me that word grit is is the advice that I'd give to myself as a younger person, or to any other young athlete, or anybody who has a dream.
Yeah.
Just to have that grit.
That's amazing, bro. I have to say, I learned this word for the first time today, and I'm really glad I did. Yeah. There's one thing that comes to mind is, right away when I first met your dad, I realized how much like attention he pays to you and your passion.
Man,
I want to know how much does the part does it play into you playing over the years to have, you know, your parents, basically just having your hand on your shoulder, okay, you're going this way, but we're here with you. How much does it play into your playing years?
I mean, it's been everything. I would not be here today if it weren't for my parents. I wouldn't be in Spain if it wasn't for my parents. I don't think I would have kept playing without the support my parents have supported me through, because I think we all know players who are amazing, but they just haven't had that support to come out,
Yeah.
And I mean, they've been everything for me. For me, family is like my everything for me. So so definitely having them, knowing that they support me and that they care about me and that they love me, is already makes everything just so much better. It makes the journey just so much more worth it, because I want to make them proud, and I want to make all the sacrifices that they had to make worth it.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. See, we get into a segment a lot here, which is Connect 4. We're gonna keep talking as we play. We're gonna keep talking.
Let's see how focused you can stay.
Trust me, practice is all I've been doing.
Right.
I'm telling you, I practice in front of the mirror.
All right, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's jokes. That all jokes, but it's all just to get ready, because I can't have a guest come here and humiliate me all the time. I got girls watching the podcast, man. What girl wants a man that can't even play a Connect 4 game?
Who can't win?
Yeah, red or yellow?
I'll take red.
Red, all right, let's go. Messi or Ronaldo?
That's a complicated question for me.
Okay.
And let me tell you why. For me, I have to give credit to both of them. Not only because they're both undeniably the GOATs of football, but because of the work and everything they've had to go through to be at this point. And if you want to think about it, you have to think about everything, all the work they put in, all the people they had to go through, all the hate they had to persevere through, just to be at the stage they're at now.
Yes. So
for me, it's both.
Both of them.
And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, you can only choose one. But for me, I'm gonna be honest. So
you think they're like at the same level?
I think they're both just like, they kind of support each other in a sense.
Yeah.
They complement each other.
Exactly. Yeah. I have both jerseys hanging up in the wall in my room, and I love both of them. But the man that made me fall in love with the game is Messi. So better believe, he's coming here next year for Copa America. I'm gonna be watching his game.
Yeah.
He came to Miami. I'm gonna be going to watch him. I would be a very sad man if I was 80 years old and my kids are asking me about Lionel Messi, and I can't even tell them that I've watched for me the best player of all time play. Just amazing player.
I watched Messi play with the national team like it was years ago, but
really?
It was I forgot who they played against, but I just remember, man, how crazy the stadium got when he starts warming up.
Yeah,
it's him just warming up. You imagine you start warming up for a game, and everybody start going crazy. Exactly. You want to go first? I'll let you go first.
Oh, really?
The host gets to go first.
Okay, thank you. Rajan, can we have the camera mostly on him during the game? Yeah. So let's go. You next. So you later on ended up going to play for FC Benidorm.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the process like to signing for them?
It wasn't as complicated as many people might think it was. I was over in Spain for vacation for the whole summer, and I just wanted to keep training. And so we found, and actually I'd known the club before then, because in 2018 As a little kid, I was already playing with them. Like I was training with them, and I played a little bit with them.
Really?
So it was so I kind of already knew like where I could play.
Yeah.
Once I was back. So I got in touch with them. They finally gave me some dates to show up for training, and then before you know it, it's a tryout and not a training.
Really?
So what I thought was just just like a regular training session. It was a trial to see if they liked me or not.
Yeah.
And so like the first week, it's your move, by the way.
Oh, it's my move. Okay.
And so that first week, you know, I felt in the zone that week. I felt pretty good because I was playing good, and I just felt I was having fun in Spain. So mentally I was like in a space where I felt good.
Yeah.
So they liked me. The coaches really liked me, and so they kept on talking with me, and then I did preseason with them. And so during preseason I'm playing well, I'm getting minutes in the games, and from there like I had to tell them that, you know, I have to go back to the U.S. Like I can't stay here forever.
Yeah.
And so that's when they told me that you know, like we want you to come back.
Okay.
So then we cleared everything up so that I could come back. So I left in August like 29th.
Okay.
And then I came back October 6th.
So let me ask you though, how difficult is it to relocate? To leave behind, okay, like I had a life here, I had this going on with family, school, and a future in mind. Like, how difficult is it to go ahead and say, you know, it's overseas. It's not just going to another state. Because one thing Americans are used to here, what I was surprised for, when I got here, like people just be telling me like
they want to move out.
Yeah, they're moving out.
It's crazy. Yeah,
and not only just moving out of the house, but people just be moving out of states. Like, like
so far from family.
Yeah, so far, just like that. And me and my people, we're not used to that. We're like,
nope.
Well, you know, like I remember, like I know a person. I met him, and I got you. 3 months. No, forget. Like 3 months later, after I met this person, they tell me that they're moving to another state. I'm like, you guys just be moving. They're like, yeah, you know, it's better over there. You know, we've been preparing for this, but now you're moving to a whole other country. Yeah. Don't worry, you know, you're excited to lose. It's all right. But yeah, remember, have the camera mostly on him when he speaks, because he wouldn't want to.
Can you move the game like a little bit back? Just move it back more. Like move it all the way back.
That's as far as it can get.
That is good.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, how difficult was it to relocate? You know, new country, new people. It's not like you could go at the corner of the street and then hear somebody just speaking English. Now it's all over. It's a whole different language. You know, how tough was it for you?
It's tough for me for different reasons. My first language is Spanish, and so I like hearing all that. I prefer speaking in Spanish, and being over there, it kind of helps me. It's helped me be more comfortable just like being in Spanish 24/7. So I love that. But it was hard for me because it wasn't ideally what I wanted to do. It wasn't planned for me to move so far from my family and from my people just that fast. So it was hard for me because I'm now away from my family. And it was the first time that I moved out of my house to be alone. And so it was hard because I'm leaving behind my family.
Yeah, was your mom telling you like tips like this is how you cook your favorite food or something like that?
I mean, they're just telling me.
It's my turn, right?
Yeah, it's your turn. I mean, they're just telling me that nobody's gonna be doing my laundry for me no more. So, you know, that's definitely.
Okay, I'm one. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't even see that one. I didn't even see that one. All right, I'll give you that one.
Oh man, talk about it's gonna be hard for me to focus. You know, here's the thing I love the best about playing Connect for guests is if it's a question of focus, you have to be focused more than me.
That's true. So if anything, there's more pressure on me.
There's more pressure on you. I don't know what you were talking about. Talking about like, oh, I'm gonna see how well you can get focused. Nah. I
need to bring my mentality to Connect Four.
Yeah, because let me think. You are, I think, and released. You might be the third person I've ever interviewed, and I'll tell you, so I've done this like a dozen times. I'm comfortable.
Okay. So you feel good playing this?
I feel good playing this now. I've lost and lost again, and there's a coach that came here on the podcast, and he said, Coach Axel, he said something very important. He said, if you look at all your failure, I guarantee you can learn something from it. And I looked at my failures as I was rewatching. And I was
You're watching film on Connect 4.
Yeah. You know, you watch films of, you're a midfielder, you look.
But on Connect 4 is crazy. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay.
But I want to be great, man. Like,
yeah.
You know, Michael Jordan would be proud of me here, you know. You watch film of the position of this player, how the game move.
No, of course.
I watch film of everything. Like, now I even know what facial expression not to do. This and that.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'll let you go first now for this round.
All right.
But the decision also to first go ahead and move to Spain, because it's not like a thing where it's like, you know, what do you want for breakfast type of question. You know, it's something that you take time to, you know. How was it assessing your options here in America and assessing your options in Spain, telling yourself that you could go in Spain, go play, but, you know, this is what you could also pursue?
Yeah, I think ultimately what helped me realize that it was the right decision at this point in my life is being over there and actually seeing the levels of football there is. I don't think people understand, you know, like people see my club and it's a relatively small but growing club. But I don't think people understand the levels there is in European football. I don't think people understand that there's a 4th tier team that could wipe a like D1 team.
Oh, wow.
Like it's crazy. And I think people who have seen football in other countries will understand that. But not many people understand the levels there is to global football. And so I'm thankful that I've gotten to experience that. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's just the level of football there is it is over there is absurd. It's guys that are over there, like they're just having fun and they're playing in their little town team, but these guys are like they'll kill you. They'll kill you, or you know, they just dominate.
What's the best part about Spain? Like the country, just because now you've been there. What's the best part about it?
I'll have to say, I think I really like the weather over there.
The weather, yeah.
The weather is very nice, you know.
Washington weather sucks.
You know, I missed it, but
I thought you were smart there.
It's all good.
But yeah.
I like the weather over there.
What's better food, Spain or America?
Nah, U.S.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, U.S. has the
yeah. Go ahead.
U.S. has the best mix of like all foods.
Yeah. What's your favorite? That's my sister. Yeah, you guys don't worry. Yeah, come in. All right, I'll take that out of the editing, so we're good. Yeah.
No worries. Hello.
Yeah. Hey. But yeah, U.S. best food. But what's the favorite place you ever visited?
My favorite, like in Spain or
no, just anywhere. Favorite place you ever traveled to?
I gotta say that. So this summer, my family and I we had a little mini trip to Paris, and I had very low expectations of Paris. I don't know why, but it's just everything, you know, seemed kind of like Paris never appealed to me. If I'm being completely honest. So
you don't like France like that?
No, it's not that I didn't like France. It's it's just that Paris, I never really
cared for it that much.
Exactly. And so once I'm over there, man, I'm telling you, it's one of the most beautiful places there is. It's one of the most beautiful cities on this planet.
Really?
If I'm being honest.
Okay. What was it called? How did you go around with all the French?
Google Translate.
What's that?
Google Translate. Because they do not want to speak English with us.
Really?
Man, those guys, they did not want to speak French with us. Or English. So it's like you either speak French or English, but they don't want to speak French with us. So, you know.
So they're not inclusive.
Man.
Really?
They're kind of rude to us. But, you know, it's okay. I knew that the French people were going to be stingy like that.
Yeah, I heard that a lot about French. I mean, I know a couple French people, you know, but, like, I never knew it was actually, like, that noticeable, you know, something that you could just go ahead and notice. You know what I love about this? Because you're a midfielder, you have to think ahead, a lot. Okay, so like this is like a game of mind.
You saw that I was already looking at the next.
Yeah. And one other thing is, This is like chess. I like to call it like stand-up chess. Like you gotta like think ahead.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really like Paris. If I'm being honest.
Okay. What's one place you will never go back to?
Never go back to. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
A place I'll never go back to. I don't.
Me, for example, while you think of yours, me would be Texas in summer. I will never go back to Texas in summer.
That sounds pretty bad.
Oh my God, it's hot. Like you open the door, the heat hits you like just the wind, like bang to your face. It's a place I would never go back to at that time of the year.
For me, I don't have a place. I don't think I've ever disliked a place that much to where I'd never go back to that place. Really? I'm like keeping it completely honest. I've never disliked a place that much. What's a place you'd want to go back to?
That's a good question. Place I want to go back. Because I haven't traveled as much. I don't travel as much. But if I have to go back to one place. For the moment that I've spent, it would either be... I know it's crazy that it's the same place I don't want to go back to. But like when I grow up and when I think about relocating to live somewhere, it's either Texas or Oregon. I know I just said I don't want to go back to Texas in summer.
But you like it.
Yeah, but I like it. I just like how chill it was the time I spent there. At least where I was staying with my uncle and everything. And also because I went to Texas to see my first ever Barcelona game.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so I'm there,
okay.
There's a lot
So you
of
have very good memories of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Okay.
When you're a kid that's in Africa, 6 years old, watching Messi play for the first time, and then with Barcelona, and the opportunity to go ahead and see them comes to life, but you fly off.
Of course, you're there.
Exactly. So it's either that or California because of, again, the memories I made with my teammates in my first out of state tournament. We got all the way to the final. We were unbeaten as well to the final, not scored on, and I was a center back, so I take pride in not getting scored on and everything. So here we are with the team in Spain in the final, and we're actually facing a Washington team. It's a final. Next thing you know, you were thinking we're confident. We drew against them before that in the tournament, but they scored 2 goals on us in the first half. I remember I was on for one of those goals, the first goal, and I remember there was a goal like it was outside the box. It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was outside the box. Outside the box, and what happened was, player gets the ball out. don't give anything away. Okay, connect for it.
Oh damn!
Dude, you better saw it because you were laughing it up. What? Really? What's that?
Tienes que conectar cuatro.
Yeah, just either what's it called, horizontal, whatever. Anyway, yeah.
I was looking at already the next 2 moves I had.
Okay, I'll give you a tip. I'll give you a tip on how to win this, and they don't advertise it enough. The way you win Connect 4 is by not giving away your power dynamic of offense and defense. The moment you play the game, and then you're now thinking about defending me, stopping me, you've lost the game. That's at that moment because
that's true.
It's over. So I'll give you that tip. Take that on to the next game, and I want you to win the next game.
So when I see this video, I'll be watching my footage. I'll be watching my film.
Yeah, basically, what I love also mostly is because although all these guys are great players, the one moment I can be better than them is in Connect 4. Because I tell you, Diego one-on-one with me, he's cooking and everything. But here, one-on-one,
it's a fair game.
Yeah, it's a fair game. That's the only time I have a certain type of power. So you do the tryouts with the team in Spain, and you decide that you want to go ahead and play there.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first months or the first just period of time without family and also with grown people? What's it like? Do you learn more also by playing with grown people?
I think anyone can relate to that. Like no matter like where you're playing, if you're playing with older people, you're learning new things. You're learning how comfortable those players are. You're learning like what makes them like good and what keeps them up at that level, So I think definitely just playing with older people, it definitely teaches me a lot about the game. So being with older people, and I've always liked being with older people. Like surrounding myself with people that are older than me, I'm very comfortable with that. So it wasn't an issue. But it was just being without my family was definitely the hardest thing.
The hardest thing, yeah.
So
fun fact for those who didn't know, one of the owners of the club is David Villa.
Yeah.
And I remember I was standing with your father. You were able to actually meet him.
Yeah.
And what's it like to meet such a huge legend of the game?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of surprised when he was shorter than me.
Really?
Yeah, I was very surprised.
Wait, how tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
5'9".
He's probably like 5'7".
Okay.
Like
okay.
pushing 5'7". You know?
I mean, he's only also getting shorter.
Yeah, he's only getting shorter.
I hope he doesn't see this. Oh my God! Please come on the podcast. Even after I say that, bro.
Man, but no, he's definitely a cool guy, and it was just when you think about it, it's kind of crazy how much he as a player has accomplished as well. I think some could say that he's accomplished European football, like in general.
Yeah, World Cup, Euro,
World
Champions
Cup, Euro,
League.
like he was playing with the best players, and he's also the top all-time leading scorer of Spain's national team. So that's also a pretty crazy accomplishment to score that many goals in that many big games. Like,
I'm gonna tell you one thing: you've already lost the game.
I already lost the game.
You've lost the game.
I already lost the game.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but you lost the game. Just so you know.
Okay.
But yeah, we could go back to the game, but just so you know, you've lost the game.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
and now that you said that, now I have to win the game.
I don't know. There's nobody that's ever come here, and I see the future, and I can tell them that they've lost and has won to go on to win. Just so you know.
Okay.
So we could go on.
All right.
You've lost the game.
All right.
Okay. But yeah, when you meet him, what's the first thing you tell him? Like, oh, were you lost for words in anywhere?
No, it was more of I didn't want to make him I didn't want to act like a fanboy. Like, so I was just trying to play it cool. Small talk, act like even talking to him as if like I knew him. So I didn't want to. I didn't because I saw because there was a few other of the team. It was all the older guys that were there. And so I didn't want to. So I was just like looking at how they were talking to him, and they're just like, how do you like the area? Just acting like they know him. So So I was trying to play it like them.
Cool. Yeah.
I was trying to play it cool, and I didn't want to. I asked for the picture.
Thank you.
I asked for the picture.
You've lost.
Oh damn.
I mean, I said it. I'm so sorry.
Like he's talking, like he doesn't pay attention to the thing.
I have to. Okay, I'll admit a secret. Do you guys notice that I only make move when he's talking purposely, when he's not thinking? I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, you saying you meet him and
You got to take the dubs where you can get them.
Okay, trash talking.
No, it's not trash talking. It's just like if you're good at something, you gotta.
No. You see how that was like passive aggressive type of stuff.
That wasn't aggressive at all.
You say you gotta take the dubs when you can take them, because he knows there's places I don't take dubs. Okay.
I don't know. Nah.
Okay, we doing it. Well, well, no mercy, man. I was telling myself, man, let him win the next one.
You were not thinking that.
No,
if this guy's watching footage of his Connect 4 gameplay, he's not. Nobody.
I was now just trying to make you feel better. But yeah. No. Oh yeah, you meet him for the first time and all. And do you ask him for anything? Like, you tell him anything? Like, hey, I just joined your club. Like, what's it like? You when you're sitting with him or staying with him?
I mean, he knows that there's only 2 American kids on that team. So he knows that I'm one of the 2 American kids.
Yeah.
So it's not really asking him like. All right. So it's not asking him like, does he know me or anything? But it was just talking to him, and I got to learn a little bit like of why he decided to purchase that club. And he just has he grew up with his family. Going to vacations to that town. Yeah. So he always liked the town, and the club has always been there. And there was a point where the club was 2nd division, and it fell down to 4th, and now they're climbing back up. So he saw it as a chance to grow back the club. So it was very cool to like actually hear why he won, like why there, because it's a very specific town. Like I think not many people really know about that. Like a lot of people do, but not football wise, So it was pretty surprising.
Yeah. So I want to know, your as a player, who's one player you look up to, or who's a player that you'd like to take your game away from?
There's a lot of players. I feel like and one of actually this is something that I heard from Jude Bellingham, where like his like the thing that he like one of the biggest things he has is being like a sponge. Okay. He just takes in all these things from all these players. And so when I look at a game, if I talk to you about different midfielders, I'll tell you like man, I like this specific detail from this specific player. Or like this guy's touch. Like if anybody asked me like whose first touch would I want to have, Mahrez, because that guy's first touch, he'll take it and he's right one-on-one with you from no matter from where. He's already one-on-one with you. So or even just like for goal scoring ability, I'd have to say Holland, because man, that guy, he is nothing special with the ball, but his off the ball movement to be where the ball is gonna be. Exactly. You have to give credit to who he's playing with, but just the intelligence he has to be at the right spot at the right time is like, it's.
And those are things you want to also implement into your game. Of course. Yeah.
So definitely taking in like those things from him, or like from Cristiano Ronaldo, I'd have to take his hard work, because I'd say I compare Cristiano Ronaldo to Kobe Bryant. Just like the grind and just how talented they are already is obvious, but just the the hard work and the passion they have for the game is something else. So
yeah. No, that's amazing though. Yeah. Sorry.
Lose focus.
You're making me lose focus, Bob. I'm losing it, chat. Let me ask you. You did get caught up by the national team. Okay, regardless of circumstances, what was that experience for you?
Oh man.
First, like, what's the process when you first get the call?
So it was a very heartwarming moment, because my dad actually got the call before me, but then he told the guy, can you call him on the day of his birthday, because it was like 2 days before my birthday, and so I got the call the day of my birthday. And just because we had already been having conversation about me going to play with them, and so like I already had my hopes up to play with them, but just like the opportunity to play in the CONCACAF was something special.
Yeah.
Just, and I didn't even care if I was gonna play. It was just like, I want to go over there, I'm gonna train, and I'm gonna show them like what I'm about. So yeah, getting that call was a surreal feeling.
Bro, that's amazing though, because I remember I know, what was it called, a couple guys that would talk about their experience of getting called up and everything, how awesome of a moment or how random it would be for them. But your dad asking for the call to come and your birthday just makes it even a more special experience. I'm glad for you though. So it's, let's say you're there with the team and everything. What's it like now to be in an environment with ballers from all over? Thank you. What's it like to be in an environment?
Oh man, this guy. I gotta give it to you, because you stay so focused, like you pretend like you're paying attention to the question you asked me, but I can tell when you're focused on this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you can tell.
Oh, I can tell.
Wait, what would it be? Like, do I make a certain look?
Oh, when you started like, oh man, just like that's so amazing getting called by your, and you're just like over here plotting, man.
No,
it's okay.
No, I tell you this. Let me ask you. Does this make me an amazing host or an amazing Connect 4 player? Which one does it make me?
It makes you an amazing Connect 4 player.
Okay.
But I mean, would you rather be a great host or a great player, or a great Connect 4 player?
Where's there more money at? Is there more money as a Connect 4 player?
I think there's more money as being a host.
I don't know. I'd rather have my kids go hungry and me being the best.
That's crazy.
It's sad. It's sad.
Your passion.
My passion. My passion is connecting for here. All right. Yeah. You guys, we're gonna make it fun. You guys, talk to him. All right. Both of you guys, you're in his team. We're gonna do 3v1. Tell him not to play. Like if you see see me play something, be like.
I think the cameraman is the one who like knows. He's like the one.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah, he's in. He knows. Yeah, he's laughing. I hear. Yeah.
I'll tell you this before I want.
Before you lost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And before this one, I would look at the camera while you were like looking down. I just smiled because I already, like I told you,
I think the good player is this guy over here.
yeah, he's very good. You know, one episode I told him, come play against a guest. He won the first time, bang, and then he went back to see. But okay, going back to the game, going back to the what's it called, the national team. Yeah, the environment of being around players from all over, and also each having expectation to perform. What's it like now, knowing that you have to fight for that spot? You have to fight for minutes. You know,
yeah.
It's all that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think like I was very happy, of course, and I knew it was a very big accomplishment in my life. But I'm gonna be honest. I had low expectations of who I was gonna be playing with. Like I didn't think, because Puerto Rico in general is not known for soccer, so I didn't really have like that high expectations. Like I came in with this like hunger to just like, you know, outplay everybody and be better than everybody. But I really didn't see the competition I was playing against until I got there. And see, like right now, you're so locked in on the game that is.
I'm not locked in. I can
funny.
tell you what every word you say.
Yeah, but yeah. So once I get there, all the guys are great. But then when it comes to the first training session, or no, actually before that, because I start talking to one of the guys and he plays at UNC. Yeah, and so I'm talking to him like. Do you know most of these guys? And he's like, yeah, I mean, most of these, you'd be surprised as to the amount of ballers there are on this team.
Yeah.
And so there's two guys who are playing second division in Spain. There was one guy that at the time he was playing with Orlando City, and
Good team.
Yeah, and then just a ton of guys there's one guy who's at Brown, and then the captain, he was at the Orlando City Academy, and he's now at Gonzaga University.
That's big.
Yeah. And so just a ton of guys that I was very surprised when I started training with them.
Yeah. Here's a question I want you to think about. What is the biggest obstacle that you ever had to overcome in your career to get to where you are?
I've had my fair share of obstacles.
And to be fair, for this one, I'm gonna stop playing so that you don't look like I don't see.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't really care. So I'd say my biggest obstacle was definitely at the beginning of this year. So I applied to Seattle University, and then I got in. And so I was studying there, but before that I had already been talking to the coaches, and they were interested. And then not only that, they had told me that I was going to start training with them for the spring season. So I go my first quarter, and I'm still playing with Seattle United just so that I can keep playing, but just waiting for spring season to arrive. And so finally they're like, okay, we're going to start. Actually, no. I talked to one of my buddies on the team, and he said, join us for the captain's practices. So I showed up for the captain's practice. And at that moment, I was like, wow. Like, I was like, the level there was on that team was pretty crazy. Yeah. So I was happy that, you know, I was considered to be at that level at that time. And so I remember I scored a lot of goals that first captain's practice. Yeah. So I was pretty excited about that. And then the next week I started training with the team. And so trainings went by, and I felt good. Like I'm not gonna say that I was the best player, not at all, but I was on level, and so I was happy because I saw and I think that was my mistake, is that I saw myself on the team before I even was actually on the team. And I didn't I didn't even realize that, because in my mind the way I had talked to the coaches was like, yeah, you're in the team for spring season. And so of course I'm happy about that, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to stay in Seattle. I wanted to go to this school, and I wanted to be on this team, and so I was so happy about that. And then I have after one of the trainings, I talked to the head coach, Pete.
Yeah.
And we're talking about my grades. And my first quarter, I took 5 classes, and that was a mistake I instantly regretted, because it was way too many classes and difficult classes, and I ended up failing quite a few of them. And so my grade was really low. And so I'm talking to Pete, and obviously they see our grades and everything, and he's like, you have to have a good GPA to have playing time on this team.
Yeah.
And so at that moment, I'm like, well, they're giving me an opportunity to be on the team, but obviously I knew I wasn't gonna have playing time.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I was honestly set in for that, and the way he talked to me was basically just like, you have to get your grades up. And so I understood that, and so that next quarter, my grades were already going up and everything. But then on the last day of training, or on the last day of my training with them, they called me into their office, and all 3 of the coaches were there. And like I sit in the chair, and I was like, I thought they were like gonna tell me like, yeah, you're on the team for sure. And and then just the complete opposite news. and they told me like that it was about my grades, and at that moment I was so disappointed that I didn't even really have like a comeback. Like I feel like maybe like I could have said something that maybe could have changed, but I was so disappointed with myself and with that, like how that all went down, that I just didn't have anything to say really. So I'm just like sitting there quiet, just taking things from all 3 coaches. And I mean, it was a hard hit, because in my head I was set on playing there, and well, they didn't see that. So that was in like February, March, and then like after that I just didn't know what I was gonna do, like playing wise.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea where I was gonna play, if I was gonna play, or what was even the next step, which for the first time in my life I felt that way about football. So so I started playing with a bunch of, like, I found training where I could find training, but it was hard because I was so set on that, and I know a lot of people see that as a big goal, like playing on that team, because it's a great team, and the school is great, and the area, being close to my family, that's what I wanted. But taking that hit was definitely was a big, in my mind, it was a big setback in my life and as a athlete.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hearing this, but it's not like I'm hearing this like not knowing who you are, not knowing what your story is, or a big part of it, because the light did shine later on. But how do you pick yourself pieces by pieces from such challenges, from such news? How does it's not just for you, but if you had like to give advice to these other athletes, because many will go through that same path.
Yeah.
How did you do it? How could you advise somebody to get up from such challenges?
Everybody, and it, not even as an athlete, everybody in life has setbacks. But if what you want is what your path is set on, then you have to do whatever it takes to get back up and just start going down that path again. like luckily for me, I had like the support of family and friends, but and even then, like my dad, he would take me to like trainings to a bunch of random teams just to get playing in, and you know, like in my mind, like I was so down because of what happened, but it felt good to just like be playing again, and so definitely support from others, but you need to have a hard head, because nobody in life is gonna get through their goal in a perfect path. There's no such thing as a perfect path. And so you have to realize that, and you have to know that whatever happens for a reason, and if it's meant for you, then you keep going. And if you realize that it's not what you want, then you can't force yourself to want to get back up. Nobody's going to force you to get back up. It's all up to you.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing advice, brother.
Yeah.
What's a goal that you have for your career? When you look at your career and then you set goals for yourself, what's one main goal that you have for yourself?
My goal right now is to get up to second division in Spain football. It's a very good level, and I see like my teammates from the Puerto Rico youth national team. I see like how they're doing, and it gets my hopes up, because I wanna be ready when I get that call back with the national team, and at the same time just making my way up to second division over there. That's my goal right now. My goal ultimately is to make it to first division. But my goal right now is make it up to second division.
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
Did you go?
What's up?
Did you go?
Did you? Yeah, I did go.
Right.
I played right there. I shouldn't have said where I played it.
I didn't even see where you played it, so.
Yeah, that's why I shouldn't have said it. I should have been quiet.
It's okay.
You know, I'm good. I'm happy that you're one of those guests. Like, you know what I should have done from the start is like make a bet. Because a guest came here once and he said, oh, if you lose, you going to get your hair dyed. I'm like, what? At some point he said, I want your laptop. I'm like, my laptop? He's like, no, instead, I want you to dye your hair. I ended up losing 2 games.
Wow. So.
You didn't dye your hair.
What's that?
Yeah, you didn't dye your hair. You still didn't do your hair.
I kept begging him for a 3rd game, and then I want him that 3rd game, and I'm like,
We're done.
I've won. We keep that 1 game. And then I told him, if you threaten to say anything, I'm going to cut that part when you want. Because at the end of the day.
You have the power.
Yeah, I have that
power's
power.
in your editing.
It's in my hand. Yeah. So how do you feel about the game right now?
If I take a quick peek at it, I don't see any way you beat me right now.
Really? To be honest, it's true. Except if I do this. I've already beaten you by doing that. Just so you know. You've lost the game.
By doing that.
You've lost the game. Remember the advice I told you at the start? The trick about the game?
Yeah, but how are you going to get the 4th one up there if I don't play up right there?
You remember that advice I give you, right?
Yeah.
The moment you start playing defensive is the moment you've lost the game. So now, by me saying that I've won the game, in your head, you're just now, okay, how do I protect myself? And now, not how do I try and win?
Of course.
That's all you're doing. Is how do I protect?
And how do I win?
Wait, what did you win?
Right here.
Come on. Nah, that was good. You made me look like an idiot, bro.
I saw that move like 3 moves ago.
Really?
And I knew and I was playing this one hoping that you would not see that hole right there. So I played that one hoping that
you know what's so impressive? He's how chill he was even after he won. So he's like, how do I win this? I'm like, whoa. Because in my head, here's what I'm thinking. I'm mapping out this one. Because I'm thinking,
how did you think you were gonna win that?
No, okay, I have to be honest, I didn't think I was gonna win it. I took a look around.
You just tried getting in my head.
Exactly. And I honestly, you see the moment when you said, honestly, I don't think there's any way you're gonna win this. I was like, okay, yeah, he's won. Because that's one trick. But you had all the pedestal, because I don't think people understand this. I hope all my guests watch this video, my future guests, so that it helps them win.
I like
this
that
game.
you picked this game.
Yeah,
I think this is a good game to.
It's like go ahead and play. It was either this or Jenga, but I knew Jenga was just gonna be.
But this, I think this, like, even if you want to think about it like tactically, like there's more levels to it than Jenga.
Exactly. Yeah, but you know what a way to end it. You know, end it with him winning the game. You know, You want me to edit out all the parts that you lost?
No, it's fine. They have to see the journey, you know?
Yeah.
They have to see that you don't always win.
Yeah, let's pause for your only win, your first win. Yeah. We'll keep that. But now it's amazing to hear about your story. From A to Z. It's been amazing to just hear every pieces of it. I want to play a little game, a quick fire, and this was not in the template I sent you for one exact.
Because it's a quick fire.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Would you rather have 100K or flip a coin for 10 mil?
100K.
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 You don't trust your luck.
There's so much more you could do with 100K in that specific moment.
Cristiano's speed or Messi's passing?
Messi's passing.
Okay. Would you rather see the future or change the past?
Change the past.
Change the past. What would you change the past for?
You can improve so much more. Like if you see the mistakes you make and you can improve on those mistakes, like your future is gonna be following that.
Yeah.
Like him rewinding the games.
Exactly.
His dad say him rewinding the games.
Exactly.
Yes.
You see?
Yes. If I had to change one thing about my past, I wish I would have started way earlier playing. When I first moved in the country, I thought that, man, I was mostly scared in terms of like finance when I first moved to the country. Being a kid from Africa, I didn't want to go ahead and ask my parents, like, hey, okay, we move here and I want you not to pay this much for me to go ahead and play, even though I was like 11. If there's one thing I wish I could do was start playing earlier, because it's not even about like being so I could be at the top by this age. It would be so that I could enjoy the game more. Because right now, like I said, this is my last season, and what I love the most, sometimes I just take time in practice. I just take a deep breath because I'm taking in like my last moment, because like 10, 20 years I'm going to look back and be like, okay, this is where I was at. And I have to say, it would probably just be like going ahead and enjoying the game more, because I think ultimately that's what it's all about, which is just enjoying the game. You know?
Of course.
Yeah. Another quick fire question. We already got the Messi and Ronaldo, so we don't need that. We can get that out the way. Milk before cereal or milk after cereal?
After.
Ooh, milk after cereal. So you put the
cereal first.
I put the milk first. Cause I want I'm sorry, but I want my cereal to be crunchy. Like I want them to like, and then I take the spoon and then I duck them in.
That's. All right, next question.
Next question. The next question won't be quick fire, but the next question is going to be the one I was telling you about the camera. So assuming Diego was watching 5 years from now, okay? 5 years from now, you're watching and you have to give yourself a message by looking at that camera right there. Just going to wait for him to set things up. There you go. By looking at that camera right there. Yeah. Take your time, man. But so if you had to give yourself a message 5 years from now, it could be anything you would want to tell yourself as you be looking back. What would it be? Like if you had to speak to yourself.
Keep going. Don't stop. Whatever that is. I mean, yeah.
That's it, right? That's the message.
I mean, just keep going. Don't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep grinding, keep pushing.
Yeah.
And I ultimately, that's what you've been doing since the very start. From the very starts where kids would leave training, would leave whatever because they're getting yelled at, you kept pushing. You kept grinding. From the very start, from playing with coaches that would tell you maybe to play a position that you didn't want to play, you kept grinding. From being faced with obstacle that you had to overcome where you're at the lowest, but you kept grinding. You find yourself on new grounds, in new country, overseas.
Yeah.
You kept grinding. And honestly, I think that's a great message, I think to give yourself for family also now. I think it reflects what your story has always has been, which is just to keep grinding.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, I think that this was a great episode. I really enjoyed listening to your
I
story.
very much enjoyed this.
I'm grateful. And honestly, I have to say this is the first time in a long time I've looked like a fool on a Connect 4 game. Because I'm telling you, even after you won, go back, zoom my face. I'm still looking. Where did he win? I didn't even know after you called it. I'm still like, where did it come from? But I really enjoyed meeting you, meeting your father. It was amazing to also meet you that one day. You know, I actually caught a cold that one day. I actually ended up having a fever and everything. That's it. Yes. Wow. Yeah, I went back home and here I was. I like taking medicine because ibuprofen for me could knock me out. Yeah, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it. And then I remember I was looking back and I'm like, no, I'm glad I did. I'm okay if I got sick or whatever, because I get to sit here and listen to amazing stories and take opportunities to.
But if I didn't meet you that day, I would have met you another day. I guarantee that.
Exactly. Why was that called? It's faith. Destiny.
It was fate. It was
meant to happen. I'm really grateful. If you have a message you want to give to anybody watching, or also advice you want to give to athletes, just to close off.
I mean, honestly, just like and subscribe. I think you need to support this channel. I think David has something very special going. I think that he has the opportunity, he has the pedestal to really lift up this soccer community in ways that many athletes didn't even think was possible. And I think that for that, I think talent deserves to be seen. So support the channel.
I'm grateful, man.
Yeah.
Sincerely, I'm grateful. I'm going to thank you guys for watching the podcast. I'm going to thank you all for, just being here and listening to these stories. It's my biggest pleasure to go ahead and present these guys on the pedestal. So some of you guys may not have known Diego before, but now you get to hear an amazing story now. And, don't be surprised if in a couple of years you play with him on FIFA, you would already seen him on the podcast.
They'll see my FIFA card one day.
Yeah, FIFA card one day. But you know how dope that is to be like
when you have your own FIFA card? Are you serious?
Mind blowing. You used to play FIFA, and now here you are.
Now you're in FIFA.
Man, I would beg to
I put my whole team just full of Diego, no matter what the overall.
Yeah.
Just Diego.
Bro, do you play still?
Nah, man. Nah. I haven't played.
You haven't been playing before? For a lot?
I haven't been playing.
Man, you lucky, bro. You lucky you said
it's bad for my mental health.
Oh, please, tell me about it.
Man, FIFA's dangerous.
It's bad.
FIFA's dangerous.
It's worse than Fortnite. I'm sorry, but...
It's the worst game to be mad at ever.
Exactly. Ever. Jeez, in my our place, there's a hole... the shape of a controller.
Oh my God.
For what reason?
Yeah.
Don't play FIFA, bro. Stop.
It's bad for your mental health.
Very bad. I'm grateful for everybody watching the podcast again. It's been Inside Out Football. I want to thank everybody for watching the podcast. Go ahead and subscribe, share this to everybody, and go ahead and place this in your save for later. To go ahead and rewatch and learn more and more and more about such players, and also about the word grid. Honestly, it's amazing to go ahead and just take on all this and be a sponge. I think you guys are being the biggest sponge, because you get to take it from everybody, like Stuart, Etienne, now Diego. You just go ahead and take on from all these guys from all these different stories and know what it's like to persevere. Thank you again for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
I'm grateful. It's actually crazy, somebody from Spain and just here. But thank you, Philip, for being here. Thank you, my cameraman Rajan. Thank you for Exhibition for sending me their shirts. A great product. I'm really loving it. You guys go ahead and check out the link in bio for everything they have in store. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you at Penny Farm.
Yeah, we'll see you there. But how you doing? How did you feel?
Oh man, that was great.
Yeah,
I very much enjoyed it.